We now move ahead and look at some of the other parts which are available here. The fill and clear numbers are basically going to clear and fill data points. Uh, what we are going to look at more importantly is sort and filter here. Right now, before we go to sort and filter, we will also learn a few more tricks which are available in terms of hiding and unhiding cells. So let's say I want to hide this row, this column C. I can select this. I can do a right click and I can click on the hide tab here. When I press hide, it hides the cell. You will note that there is a small bar that comes here that shows that a cell has been hidden, a column has been hidden, right? How do I unhide it? I can either go and double click on that bar exactly, or if it is hidden, I can select columns B and D, right click and say unhide. When I say unhide, anything in between would come out. So in terms of representation, hiding and unhiding helps you kind of, not show something that you don't want to kind of implement or immediately show on the screen. Similarly, let's try this with the rows. Let's select these 4-5 rows and right click, say hide. Now when you hide, you will note once again that there is this slightly wider bar that gets created on the left hand side. If I double click this, essentially once this shows this, so if you see this, it shows a small arrow now, and now it shows two separate parallel lines, horizontal lines, and when you double click it, it can do this, or else simply select 5 and 10 and right click and click on unhide. It will automatically unhide those cells for you. So that's how hiding and unhiding cells would do. Similarly, you could just do an insert column here. It'll insert on the left. You can do an insert row here. It'll insert row here. You can select the entire row and delete the row, and it'll automatically delete the row again. So by selecting a column or a row, you can insert or delete that as you go along by right clicking. So that's this portion once again in terms of data representation, whether you want to not show something or show something that can be hidden from that particular table that you are using. Fair enough. Now let's try and move ahead and understand what if we want to sort the data somehow. Right now, I want to sort the data in a fashion that either it is sorted on the basis of these amounts, increasing amounts, right? Ascending order of amounts. Or I can sort on the basis of region, which is A to Z, or I can sort on the basis of dates, which is older to newer, right? I can sort on the basis of any of these, and that's what we're going to try out now using this data in terms of representation of data. So let's do this. Let's select the entire table first. Remember, be careful, you have to select the entire table. If you only sort one column, so if I do a sorting only on this column, then Gujarat will not stay with Gujarat's number. Some other number might come here. So I want that to not happen. So I select this entire table, correct? So I take a shift and keep moving rightwards, and then keep shift and keep moving downwards. Press the shift and the arrow key to select this entire thing, or you can simply click here on the lowermost cell, take your mouse, click, keep it clicked and select the entire set of table here. So you've selected the table now. Go to sort and filter. You can sort smallest to largest. When I click this, it will automatically look at the number and sort it on account of that number. You see everything has changed. Karnataka, Delhi, Kerala comes in, and then it gives you the sorting in the basis of numbers that we have. I can also sort largest to smallest. In case you will see Assam coming on the top with the largest number along with Punjab with the largest number, right? Let's do this again. Let's do a Control Z, Control Z. So we have our data. See, the smallest number is Karnataka, 26 July 1740. When we select this data, shift and select the entire data, press the shift key and select, then you can sort on the basis of this data. And remember, because we started from this side and we selected this entire data, When we select this, it is going to sort smallest to largest. So when we do smallest to largest, it gives smallest to largest. Now, how does Excel know what does it have to format based on in a table, right? What you can do is, if you actually select it from the left hand side, left top corner, and move downwards and select it here, it'll sort based on the dates. Whichever is the first column, it will sort basis of that. If you select from right to left, it will sort basis on what is the rightmost column, right? So if the leftmost column is the date, I can sort oldest to newest, and now you see everything is sorted in the form of dates. These numbers are no longer sorted. They may or may not be sorted. Everything is sorted in terms of moving dates, oldest to the newest ones, right? Let's select this entire thing and try out a few things. If you don't want to get confused with which data point it will sort with, just go to the third one, which is a custom sort. Click on custom sort. It will open a panel for you. In this, it asks you, what do you want to sort by? So do you want to sort by date or something else? Do you want to sort oldest to newest or newest to oldest, right? So let's look at this. Also note that there is this data set here which says my data has headers. If your data does not have headers, even then it can work. If I remove this, it will automatically select that portion. You see, date region is also selected in the data. When I click my data has headers, it has automatically removed the first header row from that. Now let's sort based on either date, region, amount. On date, if I sort newest to oldest, it'll just turn the list around. It'll start from 18 December, right? Let's do this again. Custom sort. Let's sort on the basis of region. When you see region, region is a text string. So it can sort values based on either Z to A or A to Z. Let's do A to Z. And when you put in A is Andhra Pradesh, that comes first, Assam comes after that, right? So it can sort the entire table based on your requisite requirement in terms of how do you want to represent the data. Do you want to sort it based on dates? Do you want to sort it based on regions? Do you want to sort it based on amounts? Either which ways, you can try and sort this entire set and get this data, right? That's the standard sort function. You can select the entire set of data, clicking the mouse, don't leave the mouse and select it, click on custom sort, you can get the data in terms of sorting, correct? That's the basic sorting that you have done. Now, within this, you find there are 2 in Gujarat, there are 3 in Kerala. You may want to sort it on the second level as well. So you can add a level. First, sort by region, and then sort by amount, which is smallest to largest. If you look at your table right now, when you look at Kerala, Kerala has 470, Kerala has 17, Kerala has 438. I want to sort it in a way that I get Kerala only after Karnataka, but I get 17 first, 438, and then 470. Within Kerala, the sorting happens on this. So I put first sort by region, so that's already done. Then I put sort then by amount, where I put the amount and say smallest to largest. When I click OK, you will note that your sorting here has now put the 3 cells of Kerala in terms of 17, 438 and 470. So you can add levels of sorting to the entire data set that is available, right? That's how we have the data which is sorted here. Now let's move to another interesting functionality where I can click on the first set of cells and there's something called as a filter. I can add a filter. When I add a filter, you see these small arrows coming here. If you remember, this was also coming when we were doing format as table. So when I select this set and do a format as table, and let's say put this, here also it was formatting and putting what was known as a filter, right? So let's go back. Let's do a control Y. Let's select everything and let's do a filter. So it puts a filter here, right? I selected everything, it puts a filter. Now let's look at what the filter does. The first thing, as the name of the filter would suggest, is that it will allow you to filter specific points. Let's say I only want to look at a few states and not all the states. So you see this, I click on this tab of filter for that state. I can also do a sorting here. The first option is sort A to Z. The second option is sort Z to A. So let's sort Z to A. It automatically sorts Z to A, right? That is done. The second thing that I do is I can sort or select based on certain states. So I click on this select all, and let's say I only want to look at Gujarat, I want to look at Karnataka, I want to look at Kerala, and I want to look at Madhya Pradesh and nothing else. When I click OK, it only shows me that data. So now it allows me to filter on the basis of what my requirements are, right? So I can filter based on states. I can again click select all and it will give me the entire data once again. I can filter based on some other data points as well, right? Let's look at that. Let's try and filter on the basis of amounts. So I can select any of these amounts and see, but obviously with amounts, each of the amounts is different. So you see something called as number filters here, right? When I click on number filters here, or I take my mouse on number filters, it opens up a tab here which says equals, does not equal, greater than. Let's say I want to show all values that are greater than 500. So I click on this. It says custom auto filter. Let's read what it says. Show rows where amount is greater than 500, right? So we will put in 500 here. So let's put in 500 and say click OK, and it only shows you the rows now where amount is greater than 500. Now you can add multiple filters to this as well. I can go to number filters and remove this, in which case I can just delete this and say OK. It shows nothing, and I can then select all and click OK. It shows me the initial data that was there, right? I'll again select it, go to number filters. It can show the top 10, right? Only the top 10 items. I can go there, again go to number filter. It can show everything above average. It can show everything below the average as well. So all the functionalities that, if you remember, we had seen with respect to conditional formatting in terms of selecting and coloring that data in a certain format, we are now actually also able to show or hide the data depending on our requirement. We can look at data between two numbers. It is greater than or equal to 500, but it is less than 1000, right? Only 3 data points come out because of that, right? So I can clear the filter by amount as well. So if you look at the data points, the fourth option that you have is clear filter by amount. Clear that, it goes off and you get your data as you look at. You've already filtered it on the basis of sorting. You can kind of sort it A to Z again and you get your sorting based on that once again, correct? Similarly, when you look at the date column, in this case, again, you have sorting oldest to newest, newest to oldest. Excel is a smart tool which actually finds out that this is a date column. So the filters now change in terms of dates. And now you can say before a date, after a date, between a date, today, tomorrow, next week, next month, last month, this month, next quarter, this quarter, last quarter. Let's click last quarter. We get Jan, Feb, March. Because we are in June at this point of time, this says Jan, Feb, March. I can clear the filter from date. I can say I want to date filter and look at next quarter. It shows me everything in the July, August, September quarter. Remember, it has been sorted on the basis of region, however. So it shows Delhi first and then goes on till Maharashtra, right? I can again clear the filter from date and I can put in more data around, let's say all the data after a certain date. I can pick a certain date, let's say today's date, and I click on OK, and it gives me all the data beyond today's date sorted on the second column. So that's the beauty of a filter, where you can practically pick up filters based on what your requirement is. And let me clear this. Let's look at a few text filters as well. Text contains a certain term, right? So I can put in a certain term and say if the text contains that, I need only that, right? So if I say, for example, contains 80. So what are the states that will have 80? You will have Gujarat, which has 80, and you have Karnataka, which has 80. So let's say I write 80 and I click OK. You will see only Gujarat and Karnataka show up in this. This might be extremely useful. Let's say you have a lot of data available with you and that has some email IDs. All you need to do in that case is when you're looking at this text filter contains, you have to put in something known as @ and it'll show you what email IDs are there. Or you have to put in something like .com and it'll show you what website names are there within that set of data that is available, right? I will clear this filter from region. That's the beauty of a filter. You can select a filter on any kind of data, do as many things that you want. You can work out with specific ideas about the filters. I would urge that you kind of practice this a lot more on some tabular data. Extremely useful tool for representation of data in specific formats and what data you want to show to someone at any point of time.